All right, so today we're diving into two really powerful blueprints, not just for storytelling, but for life itself. One is a tale you know well, of adventure and coming home. And the other is a pretty radical call to forge your own meaning, completely from the inside out.
Now, that's a pretty bold question, right? But it really gets to the heart of what we're talking about today. We're going to look at a super famous story structure, and then a powerful critique that suggests it might be this beautiful, but maybe limiting trap. Okay, let's get into it. We're going to start with a story structure that you've seen a million times, I promise, even if you don't know it by name. It's basically the DNA of countless movies, books, and myths. And here it is. It's called the monomyth, but you probably know it as the hero's journey. This pattern was made famous by the mythologist Joseph Campbell, who was blown away when he found this exact same story being told all across the world throughout all of history. It follows this super clear three-part structure, right? A hero gets called away from their normal life, they go through a bunch of trials that change them, and then they come back home bringing some kind of gift or wisdom to heal their people. Think about it. Luke Skywalker, Harry Potter, Frodo Baggins, they all follow this exact path. So this is the key takeaway, you guys. The whole point is that it's a circle. The hero's ultimate purpose isn't just about their own growth. It's about leaving, getting what's needed, and coming back to fix things and restore balance to the world they left behind. But what if that whole celebrated path is actually a trap? Yeah, that question is what leads us to this really powerful philosophical challenge, one that puts this entire model under a microscope. Some critics, especially those who were really inspired by the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, have this pretty intense name for the hero's journey: saccharine poison. In other words, a sweet-tasting poison. They argue it's a feel-good story that makes us comfortable, but doesn't actually push us to truly grow. So you're probably asking, a trap? How? Well, here's the argument. The whole journey is designed to teach you to play by the rules and fit back into the herd. It often depends on outside help, like a wise old mentor. And its main goal is to get things back to normal, not to create some kind of radical change. And out of that critique, we get a totally different way of thinking about greatness. This isn't a circular trip. It's a constant upward climb. This is what's called the creator's path. Now this path, it's not about slaying dragons or fighting dark lords out there in the world. Nope, the creator's journey is all internal. It's about conquering the enemies that live inside your own head. So who are these enemies, these inner demons? Well, on this journey of self-mastery, there are three big ones you have to face. Let's meet them. First, you've got the shadow. You know that little voice in your head, the one that's always whispering, just take it easy. You can do it tomorrow. Don't push so hard. That's the shadow. It's the part of you that just wants comfort and hates struggle. Next up is the soothsayer. This is that voice of total doom and gloom, the one that tells you none of this matters anyway. Why even bother trying? The world is a mess and it's all pointless. That kind of vibe. It's the voice of nihilism. And then we get to the final boss, the spirit of gravity. This isn't just a voice, it's a feeling. That deep, soul-crushing heaviness that makes everything feel pointless. It's the force of resignation that makes you want to just give up, convincing you that life is just this heavy burden you have to carry. Okay, so how in the world do you defeat these guys? How do you shake off that weight and, as Nietzsche would say, learn to dance? Well, the creator's climb has 4 main steps. First, you have to completely reject what the crowd values: comfort, safety, all that. Then you gotta conquer your own inner negativity. After that, you actually create your own meaning and values because the world doesn't give you any. And finally, you have to affirm your entire life, the good and the bad, with this incredible creative strength. And all of this leads to the ultimate test. It's this wild thought experiment called eternal recurrence. Picture this. What if you found out that you had to live your exact life, every single joy, every single heartbreak, every mistake, over and over and over again, forever? The big question is, could you hear that news and joyfully shout yes? If you can give that a wholehearted yes, then congratulations. You've become what Nietzsche called a yay-sayer. You're not just putting up with life, you are actively, joyfully embracing every single part of it without wishing any of it were different. Okay, so let's put these two huge ideas right next to each other. When you see them side by side, the fundamental difference between them just pops. It becomes so clear. And there you have it, the hero's journey. It's a circle.
Its goal is to restore balance, to fix what's broken. The enemy is out there. The outcome is healing the community. But the creator's path? That's an upward climb. The goal is to create totally new values. The enemy is inside you, and the ultimate prize is complete self-mastery.
And that leaves us with this big question to chew on. Looking at the world today, with all of its chaos and challenges, which kind of person do we need more of? The one who restores balance and heals the community, or the one who's brave enough to shatter the old ways and create something we've never even seen before?